He opened a sealed hatch that no one dared to touch and vanished without a trace. No signal, no goodbye. Just whispers, shadows, and a truth too dark to reveal. What lies beneath the ice? Watch now before this mystery is buried forever. Vanished, he was just an ordinary man working on a quiet research base in the Arctic. Nothing unusual. But one freezing morning, something strange happened. He went out to check a hatch on the edge of the station. Something they said had been sealed for years. He radioed in, said he was just taking a look. That was the last time anyone ever heard from him. No one thought much of it at first. Maybe he slipped, maybe he was just exploring. But hours passed, then days, and still nothing. His gear was found near the hatch. Footprints led up to it, but none came back. The hatch itself, slightly open, like someone had forced it after years of being locked. Rescue teams came. They searched the tunnels below for days. No trace, not even his flashlight or tools. Cameras showed static. Radios stopped working the moment anyone stepped near the hatch. Some workers said they heard whispers coming from the tunnel. Others refused to go near it at all. It was as if the man had simply vanished. No body, no clue. Just silence, and a mystery that still haunts the Arctic base to this day. The hatch wasn't part of the original base plans. That's what made it so unsettling. Built into the ice-covered floor, it was made of thick rusted metal, with strange markings no one could translate. Engineers said it had no connection to power lines, plumbing, or any known tunnel system. It just existed. For years, the crew avoided it. It was welded shut and labeled unsafe after a technician reported hearing a cows from inside. But the man who vanished, he couldn't resist. He was always curious, always asking questions. And one day, without telling anyone, he brought a toolkit and opened it. What he found down there, no one knows. But the hatch had been forced open, partially. Not broken, not exploded, just carefully opened like someone, or something, wanted out. When investigators tried to close it again, they said it wouldn't budge, as if it was being held from the inside. One man claimed he saw something move in the darkness below. Others dismissed it as nerves. But the fear in his eyes told a different story. After that, no one volunteered to guard the hatch. Even the military refused to seal it again. To this day, it remains slightly open, covered in snow, waiting silently. Strange noise. 2 nights after the man disappeared, the base radio picked up something strange. It wasn't a voice. It wasn't static. It was a deep, pulsing sound, like a heartbeat mixed with metal grinding underwater. No one could trace where it came from, but the signal was strongest near the open hatch. Some crew members said they heard it without any equipment, just standing nearby. Others reported whispers in languages they didn't recognize. One scientist claimed he recorded the sound, but when he played it back, there was nothing, just silence, like the tape erased itself. That same night, motion sensors around the hatch triggered multiple times. But when security rushed out, there was no one there, just footprints that appeared and disappeared in the snow. One technician started sleepwalking, always ending up near the hatch. He had no memory of how he got there. He eventually requested a transfer and never spoke of it again. The noise came and went after that. Random, unpredictable, but always returning. And each time the temperature around the hatch would drop, unnaturally cold, even for the Arctic. Whatever was down there, it wasn't sleeping. No signal after the strange noises began. Something even more disturbing happened. Communication systems near the hatch completely failed. Radios crackled with static. GPS trackers glitched. Even satellite phones stopped working within a 10-meter range. The base technicians couldn't explain it. There were no magnetic fields, no equipment faults, and no known interference sources. It was as if something below the hatch was blocking all contact, as if it didn't want anyone watching. When a rescue drone was sent to scan the hatch from above, its camera cut out the moment it hovered over the opening. It never rebooted. Another drone sent underground simply vanished. No footage, no signal, gone. Then came the blackout. One night, the entire east wing of the base, closest to the hatch, lost power. Backup generators failed. Lights flickered. Screens went dark. When the power returned, all digital files from that wing's computers had been wiped. Just blank folders and corrupted code. Some believe it was a system error. Others believe something inside the hatch reached out and took control. Whatever the cause, one thing was certain: The deeper they tried to dig, the less they were allowed to see. Search begins after days with no trace of the missing man. The base finally called in a special search team, experts in rescue, Arctic survival, and underground navigation. They came with high-tech gear, thermal drones, and body cams. Their mission: enter the hatch, find the man, and uncover what was inside. The moment the team crossed the hatch line, their body cams began glitching. Some turned completely black, others froze on distorted frames. Figures that weren't part of the team, faces no one could recognize. Inside the tunnel, the walls were unnatural, too smooth, too curved, like they weren't made by humans. One searcher described the air as too still, like it was watching us. Another said the silence was so heavy it made his ears ring. 12 minutes into the descent, the team's communication feed cut off. For 5 full hours, no one heard a word. Then, suddenly, a single radio burst came through. A whisper, "Don't follow," and nothing after that. When a second team was sent, they found the original group's equipment neatly stacked at the entrance. No signs of a struggle, no footprints, no bodies, just gear, and that same eerie silence. The hatch was sealed off the next day, but not by the base. By people in unmarked suits. They didn't speak, they didn't explain. They just came, shut it, and left. Hidden truth: after the failed rescue mission, things at the base grew tense. Orders came from higher up, classified silence. Everyone was told to stop asking questions. Files were deleted, logs erased. Even the hatch was covered in concrete and steel, as if they wanted the world to forget it ever existed. But not everyone followed the rules. A scientist who had worked at the station leaked a few files before leaving: one blurry photo, one distorted audio clip, and one cryptic message. It wasn't a hatch, it was a seal, and we broke it. The files hinted at old reports, decades old, about strange signals picked up from deep beneath the ice. Signals dismissed as glitches, but now they weren't so sure. They believed something ancient was buried down there, something not human. Maybe a remnant of an older world, maybe a warning. One report mentioned a similar disappearance at another polar base in the 1950s, never made public. Same signs, same silence, same ending. Whatever was under that hatch wasn't meant to be found. And now that it had been, it wasn't going back to sleep. Still, missing years have passed since the hatch was sealed. But the mystery still lingers. The man who vanished was never found. No remains, no final message, no closure. Just a name scratched off the station's roster and a story no one's allowed to tell. People who were there have either resigned or disappeared quietly. The few who spoke out claim they were followed, silenced, or discredited. One whistleblower was found dead under strange circumstances. A heart attack at 32, with files wiped from his laptop. And the hatch. Satellite images now show a strange heat signature from the sealed area. One that pulses every few months, almost like breathing. Locals report strange lights in the sky. Animals avoid the region completely. Some believe the man is still alive, trapped in whatever lies beneath. Others think he was just the first to be taken. But one thing is certain: the hatch was opened, and nothing has been the same since. What if the hatch wasn't just a door, but a warning? Could you walk away after hearing the whispers? Hit subscribe for more true horror and vanishings. Do you think he's still alive down there? Don't miss our next video, the most terrifying dive that ended in silence. Coming soon!